If you didn't know Bill Huhman, then you were from out of town.
I was with Montgomery Ward, and one of the first days, and I happened to be in the store, and they have a candy, a little display, and there's this guy just kind of standing around, and he's fiddling around with all that, and I said, "Excuse me, who are you?" And he just looked straight at me, and he said, "Well, who are you?" He'd been coming in there every week for years.
One of my favorite stories, in fact, is they moved here from Jefferson City, I believe in the early 50s, and Carolyn loved to tell that when they moved here, she was advised to not put her kids in Sacred Heart School because they would never graduate from Sacred Heart School. The school would not survive that long. And of course, her grandchildren graduated from Sacred Heart High School.
I'm the youngest of 5. They moved to Sedalia in 1954, and Sacred Heart was just a part of our everyday life. And they became very involved.
I nominate the Huhmans for the Hall of Fame simply because of the tireless work ethic that they portrayed.
We had the first bazaar there. There used to be a church at Lamont. We took the equipment and stuff out of there, and we had the first bazaar auction, and that's when it kind of all got to go on.
My mom was also and Dad were dedicated to the bazaar and different social events at Sacred Heart that they had fun with. My mom and Dad knew how to have fun, and so again, they worked hard and they played hard.
Bill was someone who was always pitching in. He was a member of the carpentry crew. I think the thing that people remember perhaps the most is when the hoeing gym was expanded. It was a big project, and then Bill was there throughout it all.
And I know there's other people the Twinters were involved. I know there's lots of other families that chipped that mortar off the brick, but that's a vivid memory as a little girl watching that happen. They literally chipped the mortar off the brick so that the brick could be reused.
Truly, I've known Bill and Carolyn Huhman all of my life. They actually were sort of neighbors, and then through athletics, my second year here, I started as athletic director. And
she had an expression that the idle mind was the devil's workshop. And so if her children were busy, then they didn't have idle time to do things that they shouldn't be. And so that's why she was dedicated to the athletic program, as well as my father.
I got to know Bill and Carolyn Huhman back in 1974. Carolyn Huhman was in charge of the concession stand, and Bill was very active in the Booster Club.
The way the old gym was set up, when you came in the door, the first thing you saw was the concession stand, really. So she was kind of a face for Sacred Heart athletics through all those years. Her popcorn was one of the things that she was very proud of. She was proud of the fact that people would tell her it was the best popcorn in the area, and she had a little secret that she didn't like to share with anyone as to how she kept the popcorn that way. But she liked to get the gym smelling like popcorn and get the sales started.
And you didn't have to worry about whether it's going to be done, whether they're going to show up. I mean, that wasn't even a factor. I mean, they were there.
You always got an honest face and an honest word from Bill and Carolyn. One of the things that Carolyn and I disagreed on, I remember one day when I went to her and said, "You know, we'd really like to stop selling gum." And she just looked at me and shook her head and said, "Mr. Boehner, do you know how much money we make on chewing gum?"
They were just tireless workers. Back at athletic banquets, they used to give an award, the Carolyn Huhman Award, for the most dedicated, athlete. I'm just talking from the athletic side of it, because I know they were involved in other things too, but their dedication and work ethic was just unbelievable. So, and Carolyn she always had a smile on her face. She was It was nice to be around her. She improved our space, so to speak.
And of course, they were always there with their kids. They were always at Mass, and nobody was going to sneak out of Mass. Those youngsters were going to be there. So I view them as the sort of the model parish and school parents.
They were good people and good practicing Catholics, and wasn't afraid to tell people that we're Catholic, you know.
Church was central in all of our lives, and just a natural part of life, really, and we didn't think of it as special or different. And the kids, Bill and Minnie's kids and grandchildren, are a tribute to the kind of people they were.
Yeah.
I'm grateful for what they've done for the school. I'm grateful for what they've done for me. I miss them.
Without them, there would have been a big hole, that's for sure. I know that Ron is listening to this, and that your mom was a miracle worker because you turned out to be a decent human being. And so I got you, Ron.
They also instilled the root of our faith is through them. The root of our faith, our Catholic faith, was modeled by them and still in all of us today.